During the second day of the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial, his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura revealed before the jury how she was paid $20 million to keep quiet while detailing the decade of his alleged violence. Tyrone Bowman live. According to the Hollywood Reporter, the second day of testimony from the singer and former partner of the rap mogul included further details of her recollections of freak-offs and multiple accounts of physical and psychological abuse. According to the Hollywood Reporter, the so-called freak-offs orchestrated by Sean Diddy Combs often left his girlfriend of nearly 11 years, Cassie Ventura, bruised and battered after she says she was punched, kicked, and dragged so severely the antibiotic she used after the often violent sexual encounters stopped working because she used it so frequently, she said in federal court on Wednesday. Ventura also revealed that the settlement in her civil case against the rap mogul after what she said was a decade of abuse that stifled her career and left her deeply traumatized was for $20 million. That settlement came the day after Ventura filed the case and has opened the door for a flood of civil cases against Combs. Ventura also revealed she had been writing a book about her experiences with Combs at the time. Quote, I wanted to be compensated for the time and the pain and the many, many years of having to try to fix my life. She told the court, I can't carry the shame, the guilt, end quote. Prosecutors contend Combs, a 55-year-old rapper, producer, and fashion mogul, engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice, among other crimes, over 20 years. Combs, who was arrested in September, has pleaded not guilty to all charges in the 5-count indictment and has claimed he is innocent of all crimes of which he has been accused. Has anyone ever asked the question, why has Sean Diddy Combs come to such an open shame? Why has he been charged? Why is he on trial? And why now? He's been out there on the music scene for over 30 plus years, and all of a sudden, here's where we are. Ventura testified about a bevy of alleged crimes and violence perpetrated by Combs against her over their decade-plus relationship. Ventura testified that in 2018, as the couple was breaking up, he raped her in her living room. The two had an amicable dinner, aiming to find closure of their relationship, she told the court, and because he was being sweet, she invited him to her apartment. At the time, Ventura was dating the man who is now her husband. Quote, he then raped me in my living room, end quote. Ventura told the court on the floor. Ventura and Combs had sex one more time after this. Ventura said, explaining that a long-term relationship isn't easy to turn off when you have developed a connection with the person. She has had a few exchanges with him since 2018, she said. Ventura also detailed how Combs discovered that she was dating rapper Kid Cudi. During a freak-off, while going through her phone messages, Combs, upon learning this, threatened to release 2 sex tapes featuring her and that he'd send an individual to harm her and Cudi. She also testified that Combs had threatened to blow up Cudi's car in his driveway. In another incident, Ventura had gone with girlfriends to a party at Prince's house, hoping to see him perform. Combs turned up at the party, leading Ventura to flee and fall into a bush. Later, she said, he turned up at her apartment and threw luggage at her, leading her to flee to a friend's home. During much of their time together, Ventura said she lived in fear that Combs would release freak-off videos featuring her performing sex acts publicly. Quote, I fear for my career, I fear for my family. It's just embarrassing, all of it, Ventura said. It could ruin everything I worked for, make me look like a slut, end quote. You know, a lot of this stuff that Diddy is dealing with, I asked the question, why would you foolishly and stupidly destroy your own life? Why? Why would you foolishly have all these videotapes and all this other kind of stuff and think that you are immune to prosecution. In an incident foreshadowed in the Fed's opening statement, Ventura detailed a time that Combs beat and stomped her in a car. Bruising her face, Combs had ordered her to go to the hotel for a week. She told the court, explaining that his security staff would show up to check on her and ensure her she was staying inside. She also testified that she witnessed an encounter at her apartment that has become the subject of a civil suit filed by one of her friends, Brianna Bana Bungoland, alleges in a sexual battery lawsuit against Combs that in September 2016, he dangled her off a 17-story high balcony and then slammed her onto the piano furniture on the balcony. The morning testimony session at the Lower Manhattan courthouse between Ventura and prosecutor Emily Johnson mostly consisted of discussion of the freak-offs. She says Combs forced her into, which involved sex with male sex workers, while he looked on masturbating. Ventura said that she felt trapped in a terrible string of situations with Combs, who had signed her to his Bad Boy Records label. Before they began a romantic relationship, Ventura only released one album on the label. Ventura also explained to the court that one freak-off ended with her passing out, she said, and she woke up in a hotel bathtub to find Combs and a hired escort standing over her in distress, not knowing what to do with her. On a trip to the Cannes Film Festival, she said a flight led her to her changing seats on the plane home. Combs switched seats too and remained by her side, where she says he proceeded to play videos of two freak-off sessions on the plane in view of other passengers. On Wednesday morning, Ventura also told the court about visits to the couple to sex clubs in New York and Los Angeles. These visits at times included hired escorts and were always Combs' idea. That was something she was into. This was not something she was into, Ventura testified. I was always terrified and would drink quite a bit, she told the court. At one point, she said she developed an opiate addiction so she could feel numb following the freak-off sessions. Ventura's direct testimony ended on Wednesday afternoon. She will return to the stand for cross-examination on Thursday. It'll be hard for Diddy to get out of this, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not a psychic. Don't pretend to be one. This just appears to be a mess. Stay tuned. Tyrone Bowman. Never surrender. Never quit.